Every robot vendor has its own programming language. Universal Robots has URScript. ABB has RAPID. KUKA has KRL. FANUC has TP. And that scares beginners off. For languages sounds like 4 separate skills. It is not. The concepts are identical across all of them. Only the syntax changes. This video proves it. The same pick and place, written 4 times. URScript, RAPID, KRL, and FANUC TP, side by side. By the end, the alphabet soup will look simple. Here is the myth I want to kill. People think each vendor's language is a separate thing you learn from scratch. So they freeze. They cannot decide which one to start with. So they start none. The truth is every major robot language expresses the same small set of ideas. A joint move, a linear move, a digital output to drive the gripper, waypoints, and tool setup. That is the whole core. Learn those concepts once on one language, and the others become a translation exercise. You're not learning 4 languages. You're learning 1 motion model and 4 spellings of it. Let me show you with the exact commands. Start with the joint move. The fast move through joint space where the toolpath curves, but it gets there quickly. In URScript, it is MoveJ, spelled MoveJ. In ABB RAPID, it is MoveJ, capital M, or MoveAbsJ when you give it joint angles directly. In KUKA KRL, it is PTP, which stand for point-to-point. In FANUC TP, it is simply a J move on the motion line. 4 names: PTP, MoveJ, MoveJ, and J. But every one of them means the same thing. Send the arm fast through joint space to a target. Once you know what a joint move is, you can spot it in any of the 4 within a second. Now the linear move. The tool travels in a straight Cartesian line at a controlled speed. The move you use to approach a part or insert it. In URScript, it is MoveL, spelled MoveL. In ABB RAPID, it is MoveL, capital M, capital L. In KUKA KRL, it is LIN, short for linear. In FANUC TP, it is an L move on the motion line. Again, for spellings. LIN, MoveL, MoveL, and L. One idea. Hold a straight line for the tool. Notice the pattern already forming. The vendors barely even disguise it. Most of them just abbreviate the word linear. The concept does the heavy lifting, not the spelling. Next, the gripper, which is just a digital output. Set to close, clear to open. In URScript, you write set _ digital _ out with an output number and true or false. In ABB RAPID, it is set DO, set digital out. In KUKA KRL, you assign to an output, an OUT, like setting a variable true. In FANUC TP, you set DO bracket, the digital output array, to on or off. For spellings, same single action. Energize one output to grip, clear it to release. If you understood the gripper in one language in the URScript video, you already understand it in all 4. There is nothing new to learn here, only to translate. Then poses and frames. Every language has its own way to write down a position, but they all describe the same thing. A position and orientation in a frame. URScript writes a pose as P, bracket, X, Y, Z, and 3 rotation values. RAPID uses a rob target, a structured position with the pose and the configuration. KRL uses a frame with X, Y, Z, and the angles A, B, and C. FANUC stores positions as P registers, top points you reference by number. The notation looks different on the page, but underneath it is always a base frame, a tool frame, and a pose in one of them. Same geometry, different containers. So here's the takeaway that matters for your career. You do not pick one robot language and get locked in. You learn the motion model once. Best on the friendliest language, which is URScript, because it reads like Python and has the biggest beginner community. Then every other language is a syntax lookup, not a new skill. Walk into a plant that runs ABB on one cell and FANUC on the next, and you're not starting over. You already know what a joint move, a linear move, a gripper output, and a pose are. You just look up how that vendor spells it. That is why fundamentals beat memorizing one vendor's manual. The concepts are the asset, and you can try all 4 for yourself, free, in a browser. The simulator runs real front ends for URScript, RAPID, KRL, and FANUC TP on simulated arms with real kinematics and physics. See the same move in every language at plcsimulationsoftware.com/robot-programming-languages. Then write it yourself at plcsimulationsoftware.com/robot-play. Honest note, it is a real code browser sim, not a full vendor controller emulator, so it will not reproduce every controller-specific feature. But the core motion and input-output concepts are real and they transfer. Free to start. Pro unlocks the full course and a certificate. Subscribe. New video every Tuesday. See you in the next one.